Hey everyone, Sherri, Barna here from Purple Bean Media. Today I want to talk about creating 8 pieces of content in only 18 minutes. The main complaint I hear from business owners is they know they need to be on social media, but it's just too time consuming to create content every day for people to consume. This video will definitely help you with this. I know it because it works for me. I only tell you guys what I know to be true, and if it works for me, it will work for you. So what I do, number 1 and 2, ways to create content, it's killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I do a video and I record it for a podcast at the same time. Just like that, you have 2 good, solid pieces of big content. And this is important because later on, we're going to break down the big content. Number 3 thing I do, as soon as the video is done, I go to my computer and I type up everything we just said. This way, it just saves me so much time. If I do it a few hours later or the next day, I really struggle to come up. What did we talk about? What's important? It's just really hard. If I do it as soon as the video is done, it's still fresh in my head, so I can just get it out there. And this is good because this is good for the people who like reading as their preferred form of learning, as opposed to like the auditory and the visual learners. So those 3 things create 3 big pieces of content. And it only takes like 5 minutes to do, which is really amazing. Okay, so after that, after I do my video, after I quickly type up my blog, I do another thing, which is I take a picture of me either when I'm filming or my office setup, or I'll take a picture of the board, which you will see later on, probably today, and you'll see kind of my notes. I just take a picture of the process, and this is just an easy way to kind of invite people in behind the scenes. Once I do that, I pick a strong quote I said, or maybe a really good one-liner that sums up the video, or in this case, it's going to be the title of my video, How to Crush Out 8 Pieces of Content in 18 Minutes. When I choose the strong quote, I tweet it, and that is the 5th way of putting out content. Sometimes I'll even just take a picture of the tweet and I'll post that on Instagram. So again, 2 for the price of 1. So next, I will take my one-liner, I'll put it just on LinkedIn with a couple of hashtags. That's the 6th piece of content. And then, that's the 5th piece of content. Number 6, I'll take the one-liner and I'll go to an easy graphic program like Canva, and I'll just overlay the text and there'll be a nice picture behind it. And then it just is something visual for Instagram or Facebook or both. And that's a really, really easy way to get the summary out there. Now, if you have a few good one-liners, so to speak, use them. But again, it didn't go like 8 pieces with 18 minutes, kind of flowed a little better than 9 or 10 or 11 pieces of content. But you can do a ton with that. And the longer you speak, hopefully the more you can pull, right? And the last thing I do, I go back to the blog I wrote and I copy it, I put it onto LinkedIn, and I publish it as an article. I'll change the context a little bit to speak to the audience on LinkedIn. As I always say, LinkedIn is more of a professional platform, so you want to speak to that. So I speak to business owners because I know there are a lot of business owners on there, and I'll say, hey, business owners, save time. Here's a way to create 8 pieces of content within 18 minutes. So basically those are 8 really easy ways to create content, and it only takes a few minutes because you're taking it from your big piece of content. So I'm taking these little bites from and making them into like micro pieces of content for Twitter, for Instagram, for Facebook, for LinkedIn, and it saves a ton of time, but it gets you out there and it gets your ideas out there, and that's really, really important when it comes to social media. So I really hope that helped. 8 pieces of content in 18 minutes. I know it will work. So I'd love it if you try it tomorrow. If you guys do, tag me in your all the content that you get from the 1 piece of content, your video, tag me in it. And you know what? Honestly, guys, there are tons of ways to get more content. You could even break down your video into smaller pieces. There's 1,000 things to do. So it's really not that hard to create content for social media because you know what you're talking about. That's why you're doing well in your field and in your industry. And the other thing is this just saves time when you repurpose the content. Now, if I had to create 8 different individual pieces of content, I would struggle. I'd be like, oh, what am I going to talk about? But this puts it really nicely. It basically wraps it in a bow. It's super easy to do. So I just really want to encourage everyone to do that. And I've hoped you enjoyed this video. I hope this actually relieves a big burden for you too. All right, thanks so much.